Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, a glorious Monday after our Knicks won the championship. Monday, June 15th, 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy and that, as I have, you enjoyed your weekend where our Knicks became world champions. And I pray that your family's safe and healthy and that the needs of your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, and well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders doing their best every day to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The ones that are helping the people that are victims of prostitution, victims of child prostitution, victims of human trafficking, victims of sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that create demands that cause these underground and dark industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Today, I wanted to discuss the post-championship. So now, officially in my book, we're now preparing for the 2026-2027 season. And there's going to be a lot of knuckleheads, as there usually are. A lot of people thought and came to me thinking, oh, all of the idiots are going to shut up now. No, they're not. Because a fool is still a fool. And a fool just wants to hear himself talk, no matter what they're saying. So you're going to hear the Stephen A. Smiths. You're going to hear the stupid Becky Hammond. You're going to hear a lot of knuckleheads claiming to love the Knicks and Knicks Nation is talking a lot of mess. It's already started. We had a podcast yesterday. One dude was talking about, well, I don't think Deuce is going to make it, talking about the next roster. A championship piece, age 25, at $4 million a year. All of a sudden, he's not going to make it. Why? Because he had a couple of bad games in the finals, so he's not going to make it. When you are building a championship team, you're thinking of long-term sustainable winning. You're not looking to quickly change the team for one or two bad games. The long-term sustainable winning started with Tom Thibodeau 5 years ago. Okay? They had a young R.J. Barrett. They had Julius Randle. That's how it started. Then it switched from Tibbs after they made the Eastern Conference Finals to, as we know, Mike Brown. And all the time they were building what now became world champions. And some are trying to downplay the Knicks champions, or their schedule was weak, or they went through hurt teams and all of this, and trying, instead of rejoicing that we won the NBA championship of the world. The best league of basketball on planet Earth, and the Knicks win the chip. But instead, we got to go through all this, and we're going to hear more about it. And I was looking at how the Chicago Bulls built their championship, because there was some coming to me and said, oh, I think there's going to be a dynasty, or they won't be a dynasty. Listen, stop getting inflammatory and stupid. Karl Anthony Towns came, and there was a 4-year window with his contract to win the championship. I told you at the time, I told you a year before he came that was going to be the case. And that's what the case was. He come to the Knicks. He barely had a training camp in his first year, and they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Second year, this is year 2 of the 4-year window, they win the chip, which means they could still win another one. The window is still open. Okay? So they could still win another one. I wouldn't say it's going to be a 6-championship dynasty, and I was looking at the Bulls. This is the thing. Michael Jordan, when he won the championship with the Bulls, he was 28 years old. He had played 7 years in the league, no championship. 7 years. Then in year 5, they pick up a card named Scottie Pippen. They already had gotten Bill Cartwright from the Knicks. Okay, Horace Grant, Craig Hodges, Dennis Hobson, John Paxson, Cliff Livingston, rest in peace, Stacey King, Scott Williams. They had picked up these players around Jordan. And then by the time you get to Pippen's 3rd season, and that was Jordan's 6th season or 7th season, they win the championship. Okay? And then they win 3 in a row with that team. Then Jordan retires. And I'll put that in quotations and leave the rest to you. But he retired. And then there was a hiatus from the chip from Chicago. Then when he came back, they still had Pippen. They had another guy, Tony Kukoc, who the guy from Europe. And then they added one of the greatest rebounders we ever saw in the league from the forward position, greatest defenders, could guard, one of the few that at 6'8" could guard Shaquille O'Neal. They added Dennis Rodman. And they won 3 more. Okay, and that was the end of it. Jerry Reinsdorf was the president of basketball operations and the general manager at that time. He was building the team around Jordan, and then when Jordan was coming back, still in tremendous condition, Pippen still at the top of his game, he added Dennis Rodman, and then built again around them. We don't have the luxury of that, because we got Brunson, who's going to be 30, Cat, who's 30, going to be 31. Josh Hart, who's 31, going to be 32 next year. So you still got these guys, and they still in their prime, but you're not built to win 6 championships. But the Knicks can take it again next year. They got the same team, and they present the same problems for the opponents. Namely, nobody could guard Cat. He's still a playmaker. And what happened in this last series, somebody told me they got some inside information and Knicks allowed JB to take over. Come on, man. Stop with this rumor BS. Look, San Antonio played Cat well because the refs would call stupid fouls on him. He didn't create most of the fouls they called on him. So you get 2 fouls on Cat in the first quarter, you got to take him out. That happened almost every game in the series. Then you had to change your strategy because you didn't have Cat no more. So then you started running switches on pick and rolls to get Wembanyama guarding Brunson, which he could not do. And then Brunson would consistently put Wembanyama in spin cycle. That's how it happened. That, and then the overall vibe of the Knicks, where if you've been actually paying attention, you know they come at you 48 minutes. That started under Thibodeau. They don't give up. They keep coming, and the Spurs weren't ready for that. They were too young to understand meaning of that. It's in the league, in terms of the playoffs, in terms of the final. They didn't understand what they was dealing with that buzzsaw coming at them for 48 minutes. No matter what the score was, they was down 29. They still coming. And then the Villanova crew starts getting real crazy in the second half of games. Ask Boston, ask Cleveland. Josh Hart and Mikal Bridges. Now, Josh Hart had a tough series. He did. His first game of the series, he was blowing up. But then he had a tough series. They checked. Josh Hart was, I don't know what happened, but he just wasn't playing himself most of the series. But he was still coming up with loose balls, still coming up with rebounds, still doing his thing. And he wasn't his best. Jalen Brunson was. Okay? And so the Knicks end up with this chip because they were the best team in the NBA. See, a lot of people don't like me to say that because they hate the Knicks so much that when I say that, but listen, the NBA, the league is built so at the end of the league, at the season, the best team is standing there with the chip. That's the New York Knicks. Okay? Now, long-term sustainable winning says you bring the same team back. Why are you going to change it? And then people talk about, I'm worried about this. See, when you want to lose me real fast in a conversation with me, start it off by, I'm worried. Because worry don't come from the Most High. Worry comes from fear, and I'm not scared. I am worried. Oh, my God. You sound like a woman on a rag. Look here. James Dolan got a chip. The whole league been against him for more than 25 years. He got a chip. Don't think he ain't going to open up the checkbook to pay whatever he got to pay to keep this team together. He going to do it. And there's no need to talk about one going to make a 1-8. Some guys, like I mentioned yesterday, Tyler Kolek has developed so well that it will be difficult for him to continue in the position he's in. To me, Tyler Kolek at this particular point, he has developed very well from his rookie year. And he plays defense, and he can shoot the ball, and he has always had the court vision. So he really would be in somebody's rotation if he wasn't on the Knicks, but he's on the Knicks, the championship team. The thing is, the Knicks have him under contract 1 more year, but it's not unusual for the Don, who has done this already several times, to hook him up and put him on a team where he's going to get to flourish, get a chance to flourish. Okay? And it wouldn't be surprised if he did that. But if he didn't, they still got him locked down for another year. He's under contract. Deuce McBride is under contract through next year. He's eligible now for an extension, and I believe they're going to give it to him. Mitchell Robinson going to be unrestricted free agent, but the Knicks are going to keep him. He's a country boy. He is used to being in New York. He ain't going nowhere. They just won the chip. See, and that's why a lot of people downplay that. Don't downplay the importance. Players that come in the league want two things. They want the bag, and they want the chip. Because by nature, an NBA player is already at the height of ability to play the game of basketball. Otherwise, they wouldn't be one of the 400 best players in the world to be in the league. But then once they get a chip, they ain't going nowhere. If they do, it usually doesn't end well. Okay? They usually go get their money and then try to come back. Okay? But MitchRob been in the Knicks. He's the longest tenured Knicks. They'll figure out what to do to get him paid. He's going to do just what he did this year, come off the bench. They're going to stop him from playing back-to-backs again next year. They're going to keep him as fresh as possible. For why? For that offensive rebound he got in the closeout game. It's worth all of that. All of y'all that was whining, and you know who you are, was whining about the 5 picks from McCall. And we've been all saying F them picks. You know why? Because I was telling you before they got him, they need to go get him. And the Don knew it and spent what he had to spend to go get him from the Nets. Why? Because he's a championship piece, and now it's official. He just got a chip. See, when you get a chip, you're a championship piece for life. He is. Where them 5 picks? Who cares? We got the chip. Okay? So you're going to keep the championship team together unless somebody forces you to make a change. Ain't nobody forcing the Knicks to do that now. The Knicks got a situation with Cat. This is going to be year 3. Of the 4-year window. When they already got one, they're going to try to get another one. And they're going to be one of the top teams again this coming year. The only thing that will stop the Knicks, it ain't going to be you knuckleheads with all your stupid suggestions. It's going to be injuries. That's the only thing that can stop a championship team. Every team that has won chips, and I think for like the last 6, maybe 8 chips, they've been a different team. But if you notice, like the following year, the team changed. Very few teams stay together the way Jordan and them did in the 90s. And the reason is because salary structure, and then there's injuries and all of that. And when they change, they get hurt. So here, Joker and them won a chip. Then they traded Michael Porter Jr. Well, they did draft, Duran, right? They drafted Duran. But he hurt himself in his first year. So they go through a little bit of thing. Then one of their boys that was coming off the bench went to Toronto to get $20 million a year. Well, first he went to Indiana to get his $20 million a year. Once he did that, got his money, then he came back. But their team is not the same as it was when they won the chip. They're trying to retool around certain players, like starting with the Joker and Duran and whoever else they're going to bring. They're trying to retool. And, of course, Murray, they're trying to retool. But that's an example of what I'm saying. You don't want to mess with what you got if you don't have to. If you don't have to. Okay? You don't want to mess with what you got. Then the Boston, they blew through the league to win their first championship in a while, right? With Tatum, and Brown was the MVP. But then the next year, they thought they were going to be on their way until they ran into this buzzsaw called the New York Knicks. And Tatum hurt his Achilles. Then he tried to come back too soon. Messed him up, see? It happens to every team. If the Knicks can come back with the same team, healthy, they can win another chip next year. Okay? They're capable. Now, let's talk about another thing. A lot of y'all get all excited like it's Christmas because it's draft time. And I always tell y'all, since the Don's era, they're not looking for no first-round picks. They got number 24, they got number 31, they got number 55, but they're not looking for that. The Don's trying to get talent cheap. So he will trade down out of the first round to get either a future first or a couple seconds. He will do that. And I think he's going to do it again this year. He's not looking to pay nobody no first-round money. He's paying Daddy a first-round money because Daddy is a long-term investment. You don't want a whole bunch of them. So right now, he got Diawara, who he got late in the second round. And if anybody's paying attention, the boy could play. He's much better than what you would think a late second rounder is. You got Tyler Kolek in the second round, right? Tyler Kolek, I said, he's so good right now, we don't even know where he's going to play. He's not going to take Deuce's spot. Some of y'all can stop that. He's not going to take Alvarado's spot. I told you already, Alvarado is a pro vet. You need him, as you could see, to win the chip. He helped win Game 4. So you need that. So you're not messing with that. And then you had Jordan Clarkson. Now he's the candidate because he's 34, going to be 35. Okay, so now, okay. But Shamet, what y'all talking about? They're going to let Shamet go? Last year, some of y'all talking that stupidness. I said, no, Shamet's going to stay. The only question is whether it's going to be Shamet plus somebody. That's all. Shamet was going to stay. The media and all that made it sound like Shamet was on the bubble. Shamet was never on the bubble. Unless he got hurt, he was coming back. And he's coming back again. Okay, so Shamet's going to be here. Deuce is going to be here. MitchRob's going to be here. They're bringing back the team. They're bringing the band back. And they're hoping everybody is healthy. Cat was healthy most of this year. So was Jalen Brunson. So was Josh. Now, everybody missed some games except McCall, who played all 82 and then the playoffs. And some of y'all talking about benching him. And when he wasn't being benched, y'all claimed he was because he didn't close the fourth quarter, so he's being benched. Sometimes Mike Brown sees a crew that's rolling and he lets it roll. Some of y'all complain when he don't do it, and some of y'all complain when he does. Always a complaint, so that's why we just ignore you. Mike Brown knows what he's doing. Brilliant coaching this year. Brilliant. He put all of his previous experience as a head coach and as an assistant under like Steve Kerr and put it together to create what we had this year. An NBA champion. Okay, so he gonna do his thing. The Don don't really need to do nothing except see if he can find some talent cheap. Okay, so now this year, again, I mentioned Diawara. Also, I mentioned Kolek. Okay, and then we got Daddier. Now, Daddier is gonna be like 21. In fact, the Knicks are so stacked, right? The Knicks are so stacked that we had a real steal in Dink Payton, and they couldn't bring him on. See, some of y'all think you could just create space for people just because. It don't work like that. There's got to be a place for them to play and develop. The Knicks are so stacked they couldn't develop Dink Payton. They tried to develop him in Westchester and keep him, but then NIL is here now. So Dink Payton's going to be in Providence. Listen, he's going to be in Providence University. He's going to get paid more money than the Knicks could pay him in college. Then he's going to come out, if he's all healthy, hopefully he is, and be a top 5 pick next year. Then he's going to get guaranteed 30, 40, 50 million. Smart move. But see, we so stacked we couldn't keep him. It ain't the Knicks' fault. It just is what it is. There's a money limitation. Some of y'all don't get it, though. Some of y'all don't get it, man. So, the Knicks are the defending NBA champions. They should be coming back again to defend the championship with the same squad. In the summer, expect a lot of what you've been seeing. See, some of y'all just got short memories. This is long-term sustainable winning. What the Don has been doing is filling his summer league with second-year players and guys that are undrafted free agents because they're cheap. And he's going to try to get second rounders. Don't give the Don second rounders because he'll turn them into Tyler Kolek, Mitchell Robinson. He'll turn them into Diawara. He'll turn them into players. Okay? Ariel Hoop Porty, 55th pick or whatever. See? So that's how you long-term develop. Mike Brown develops these young boys in practice. And then he'll how many games this year? Diawara started some games this year. Tyler Kolek started some games. Everybody gonna get a chance to play. It's an 82-game grind. But then you got to limit it to like 8, 9, or 10, which is what Brown did when it comes to the playoffs. But really, the Knicks had, aside from the starting 5, they had Diawara that could play, Hope Porty, Bacome Daddier, Bacome Daddier he's gonna be 21 years old. That's crazy. Then you got let's not forget Kevin McCullough, Jeremy Sohan, Trey Jameson, Dylan Jones. He got a lot of dudes he could develop. But now we are champion. So now you got to try to develop these dudes, and whoever's the best will rise. The cream will rise to the top. That's what you got to do. Get cheap talent, see if you can cause the cream to rise to the top. That's what they're going to keep doing. So don't expect them to pick at 24. And a lot of you are still not going to listen and still think they are. They ain't. They're going to trade that pick. Like I said, either for next year or a year after future first, or trade down for some second round picks if they see some talent there. But that's how they get guys cheap. And that's what you want when you got a team where you're going to pay your stars. Like you paying Carlton Towns 50-something million. You paying Jalen Brunson $40 million. You paying Mikal Bridges $40 million. You paying OG Anunoby $40 million. This is a salary cap situation. So while Dolan don't mind writing the check, the Don's still fiscally responsible. That's how we got here. And you still got to pay Mitchell Robinson. So they're that. They're going to get Deuce McBride his money. But Deuce is at $4 million. The jump from 4 is limited. So he might be able to get 8 to 10, and they can afford to give him that and pay the taxes. But he's going to get re-signed. Okay, there's no doubt. So here you go. Alvarado's under contract for 4.5 for one more season, so we got him. Carlton Towns under contract for 2 more years after this one, so we got him. Mikal's under contract for 5 more years, as is OG, at least 4 more years. Then you got JB, who took left $113 million on the table so they could sign more dudes. He's under contract for 4 more years. The window is still open. And ain't nobody solved it yet. See, they thought by taking Cat out the game and the rest protecting Wembanyama, which they obviously did, that would hurt the Knicks. Nope. Oh, you stopped Karl-Anthony Towns. You still got to deal with Jalen Brunson. You still got to deal with OG Anunoby. And people still sleeping on OG. OG is probably top 3 of the best two-way players in the league. Two-way now. Somebody that'll lock down on defense and still score from the 3 and get to the basket and flush it like a grown man on offense. People sleeping on that. But you got Cat, who can't be guarded. You got OG, and then of course you got Mr. Footwork of all-time greatness, JB. And the Knicks are going to hang up 3 banners this year. You say what? Yeah. They're going to hang up the Emirates Cup banner. They're going to hand up that Eastern Conference Championship banner because they represent the Eastern Conference. And they're going to hang up the chip. You're going to see all that hanging from the rafters at MSG opening night. It's going to be wonderful. So again, to wrap this up, you just need to come back healthy. That's all. We shouldn't be asking for trades or who we're going to pick or the next star that you don't think you found somewhere. No, we need to get everybody healthy, bring the band back, win again. Because they could do it. The window's still open. You still got 2 years of Cat at this level. So as long as you got that, we good. Okay? You don't need to be adding somebody or somebody, no, he ain't gonna make it. Some of y'all are sick. But anyway, we good. Okay? Bring the band back. Let's get it done. See, people wanted to do that when we had Big Ragu, Dante DiVincenzo. But they had to, they had to give ass to get some, so you had to get Cat, which obviously that worked out. So that is Minnesota. They took Juju because that owner's cheap. That owner's cheap. He did not want to pay Cat all that money, which is why I knew he was going to be shopping Cat, and that means he took 2 players, Juju and Dante, in place of Cat. Now, Minnesota was still respectable. They still made the playoffs. This year, they didn't do as good as they wanted to, but Dante got hurt. I would love to have kept Dante. Wish Dante was with us now. I know y'all do. But he ain't coming back. He ain't going to be in New York. Not in his prime. He's going to lose all next season because of that Achilles. Some of y'all need to wake up. You ain't getting Dante back. He would love to be with his Villanova boys, but is what it is. Okay? But that's how they did it. That owner's cheap. He thought he could just he wasn't trying to win chip. Otherwise, he would never trade a Cat. But he was trying to be competitive and replace the big old Cat salary with 2 dudes. So that's what he did. Okay? He paid Nas Reed on top of it. He paid McDaniel. He got Ant. So then he just, okay, I'm going to replace this $50 million a year with a $30 million and a $10 million. That's what he did. Okay? So, but Dolan ain't cheap. Dolan is not cheap. And all the haters of Dolan, they're going to have more to hate because he ain't cheap. He'll pay the tax. They don't want the chip. Ain't nobody going nowhere. He gonna bring the band back. Everybody gonna have their bass guitars again, their drums again. Here we go. Okay, so we're looking forward to the same thing. The draft's gonna be the draft. I'm looking forward to watching the moves I know that Don's gonna make. It's always gonna be slick because he's thinking of long-term sustainable winning while y'all thinking about who's rookie gonna start next year. The Knicks ain't starting no damn rookie next year. I've been to every year there's people, oh, this guy could start for next. Why? Because it's college highlights? Come on now. Nah. But I'm looking forward to watching how he do his chess move where everybody thinking checkers. And then he gonna sign all these undrafted free agents and some second rounders gonna be our summer league. You're gonna see Diawara in the summer league. I don't think you're gonna see Kolek in the summer league this year. He's past that. He really is. He's really past summer league. But you're gonna see Diawara in the summer league. You might see McCullough in the summer league. You might see Trey Jameson. You might, although Jameson, he's not old, but he's going to be, right now this year, Jameson in November is going to turn 27. So he really, he's trying to get back. So he might play summer league. And Dylan Jones going to turn 25, 26 in October. He might play. They're trying to get bag. So they hungry for bag. So they might try to get that. But you're going to see McCullough. You're going to see even though Daddy A is now going to be in his second year, you're going to see him. You're going to see our boy Diawara, who's only just finished his first year. He's the most promising one right now. You might not see Kolek. I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, he's just too good right now to mess around with summer league. And he's getting paid. He's trying to get paid a bag. So we got him for one more year under contract, which is good. We could win one more. But after that, all bets are off. So we'll see. But Hoop Porty, you'll probably see Hoop Porty in the summer league too. So everybody get to hone their skills a little bit. Hopefully everybody play hard, nobody gets hurt. And then you're going to have some undrafted free agents and some second rounders that come in there. But we'll see. Meantime, y'all, don't get caught up in these rumors and these stupidity stuff that don't make no sense. Think about what somebody's saying to you before you just buy into it. Because some of it, if you think about it, if you actually thought about it, makes no sense. All right? And that's usually the case. That's how some of y'all, how did you know? Because I know that Don gonna do things that make sense. Not because Stephen A. Stupid said it, not because Wimbrag said it, not because some idiot said it on media, not because of clickbait. It has to make sense. Remember, we talked about not just fit, salary, fit, function. So when you're talking about a player, you got to say, okay, you're looking at your top 9. You know who they are. And you say, who's playing in front of who? But anyway, enjoy your Monday. Enjoy this chip. Enjoy the coming draft. Watch the Don do business. Enjoy the free agency when we're going to re-sign MitchRob. And then, of course, there's the summer league. So we got a few things to look forward to, but don't get stupid and think the Knicks going to do anything stupid. They're too smart for that. We are into long-term sustainable winning. This is going to be year 3 of the cat era, where we're thinking we could steal one more. Sure.